Call roll.
Bird.
Here.
Again.
Here.
Stein.
Here.
Mormon.
Here.
Culpepper.
Here.
Williamson.
Here.
Ray.
Here. Okay, number 2, approval of agenda. Any changes, Your Honor? No changes this evening. Move to approve. Second. Call roll.
Again.
Yes.
Stein.
Yes.
Mormon.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Bird.
Yes. Okay, number 3, presentation of petitions under communications. A, public hearing on the proposed North Boone Housing Urban Renewal Plan for a proposed urban renewal area in the city of Boone, state of Iowa. This being the time and place fixed for a public hearing on the matter of the adoption of the proposed North Boone Housing Urban Renewal Plan. Mr. Scare, please provide a report of the consultation meeting.
I will. On June 27, 2022 at 8:30 a.m., I held a consultation meeting on the proposed North Boone Housing Urban Renewal Plan. No taxing entities presented themselves and no written recommendations.
Mr. Higgins, please provide a report of the Planning and Zoning Commission.
The proposed plan has been approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission as being in conformity with the general.
Is there any written comments with respect to the proposed plan?
No, sir.
Is there any oral comments to the adoption of the North Boone Housing Urban Renewal Plan? Not, the public hearing is closed. Okay, B, 3026, resolution determining an area of the city to be an economic development area and that rehabilitation, conservation, redevelopment, or a combination thereof of such area is necessary in the interest of the public health, safety, and welfare of the residents of the Boone, designating such area as appropriate for urban renewal project and adopting North Boone Housing Urban Renewal Plan. So moved. Second. Call roll.
Stein.
Yes.
Mormon.
Yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Ray.
Yes.
Bird.
Yes.
Again.
Yes. Okay, number 4, report of standing committees. Policy Administration, BJ. No report, Public Safety and Transportation, Steve.
No report. We have 3 items of public safety.
So there'll be a meeting, regular meeting on the 27th. If David, Cole, if that does not work, let staff know because I may not. Okay. So.
The 3 items will be done by 5. Okay. All right. I don't think there's definitely by 5.
We'll go ahead and plan on that.
Utility Committee, Steve.
No report.
Economic Development Committee, Terry.
I believe we have a ED meeting scheduled for August 1st, but
Department reports, building official, editing.
Thank you, John. On the agenda, we have 3 items for the Planning and Zoning Commission. The first being a site plan submitted for a Jimmy John's restaurant. This will be at 1502 South Story Street, which is just north of the Dollar Tree, the parking area, just north of the Dollar Tree. On that north side there, up to the curb line. Jimmy John's bought a parcel piece of that land. What they're going to do is it's basically just a pod. It's like 1,000 square foot building. They will cut out the concrete, bring the pod in, bring utilities in. It'll be up and running probably 6 weeks, I would guess.
Like the scooters, I mean, like those little.
Somewhat similar, yeah, somewhat similar.
Okay.
Awesome.
And you drive.
It won't have any indoor seating. It'll all be drive-through. They'll have 2 drive-through windows, one for pre-order and one for drive-order. With that, P&Z and staff recommend approval.
So moved. Second. Call the roll.
Mormon.
yes.
Culpepper.
Yes.
Williamson.
Yes.
Ray. Bird.
Yes.
Again.
Yes.
Stein.
Yes.
Second item is a site and stormwater management plan for PDM, 2117 Industrial Park Road. This would be the building, if you're familiar with that area, just west of the old Gate building. It's a current 41,000 square foot building. It's about double the size of it, at another 40,000 square foot onto it. Minimal employees, it's gonna be all warehousing, basically just trucking in and trucking out. Our consulting engineer did request they do a stormwater management plan, which they submitted, he reviewed and approved. And with that, again, this is an industrial area, so they will not have to do the brick facing, the 30% brick facing. P&Z staff.
Make a motion?
Second.
Call the roll.
Hilheimer,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
McGinn, Stein,
Yes.
Mormon.
Yes.
Third item is a submittal from RL Fisher Business Park. They submitted it's called Plat 5. What they're doing is subdividing parceling off 4 additional lots. This would be in the very southeast corner of the subdivision, coming off that main road coming in there. The stormwater will meet the original stormwater plan that they put in will be met by the addition of these lots. Right now, the road will not come in. I don't know if that'll be something that will be coming back to this body for future. I would imagine it was right now. I think it's one person looking at building something and accessing up the personal road that's there. This is considered a minor subdivision, so there's a resolution for it. And with that, staff will recommend approval.
Second.
Call the roll.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
McGinn,
Yes.
Stein,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilheimer.
Yes.
Okay, finance officer, Ray.
Yeah, we have received 2 proposals for municipal software, and we're in the process of reviewing those. The next step will be to invite the software company that we're interested in, or both of them, to present to the department heads and a few employees.
City Attorney General. Director of Public Works, Whalen.
The short little report after utility committee the other day and the recent rain events on the south side of town. We have been shifting our sewer line projects to the north and west areas of town. They're going to move towards the south side of town, Boone, Woodlands, and the Trunks, try to alleviate some of the falls that are down there. So we shift our efforts that way for now, about $175,000 this year. I'll report on how far that gets us.
Public Safety, Chief Adams.
Yes, Your Honor. On the, just a quick update tonight is, as everybody knows, the Boone School has a successful EDGE program. We started a partnership this last school's calendar and worked with a couple of students that come in and did internships within the fire department to see their interest in the fire and EMS world. One step further that we started to look at is our recruitment and retention for whether it's full-time or part-time or a paid on call. It's really becoming tough. And it's that way across the world in a lot of different things. Volunteerism is down. And so one of the things that we've been working with the EDGE, working with the school system, is trying to figure out how to get some of these classes in the school system when they're juniors and seniors. And I'm happy to report that we worked out with DMAC. And it's not DMAC's first time doing this. They did this a couple times in the metro, but we're going to be hosting, co-hosting with DMAC a EMT class in the school system after it'd be the second semester. And if you just saw the big grant award announcement for the school, they got about a $400 and some thousand grant that will help pay for that. So that will pay for part of it. DMAC has some funding through the state system too that will help do that. So it's a great partnership. Our part in it really is to be able to, we're more of a support role now where we'll have the students come up and do like some clinical time with us, ride with us, go on calls. And then part of that partnership, and we'll be working out an MOU to bring back to you folks, is an actual internship. Part of that $400 and some thousand will actually pay for their internships fee for us to pay them some type of an hourly wage to be able to do their internships. But we looked at it as a really a huge positive as trying for recruitment retention, especially since people are dropping out of the EMS world and the calls for service and the recruitment is getting larger. So I would entertain any questions. Yeah. So that's it, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Weevil, no report now. City Administrator Bill.
Thanks, sir. I'll start with downtown sidewalks. We had a conversation about that at council meeting ago about stenciling, where we replaced the concrete with the trees, when the trees were taken out. Staff has looked at that, and there's no really where those areas are gonna be. There's no rhyme or reason where they're at downtown. So it'll be just, if you stencil, it's just gonna be sporadic all over. There's really no pattern or anything like that. So what staff would like to do, unless directed otherwise, is fill them with concrete, or just regular concrete for now. Work with Main Street and develop an overall plan for downtown before we actually do something. So that's what we've come up with. Want to present that to you and take any direction from.
I have a question. I guess I raised the question of what we could do with those spaces. And as I kind of did a walkthrough, it seems like there are about 20 of those areas that did have plantings and now have mulch in them. And as I said, I thought this was really a good opportunity for Main Street to start on some kind of beautification of downtown, rather than just putting a concrete fill in there. And I don't know, you're suggesting we do that, but then would it be backtracking if we try and, I thought it'd be nice if we could do some kind of brick pattern, because we've already got brick. I don't know how recently that was done, but when we go downtown, there are, on the corner areas, there are bricks that are making a pattern. And if we could match those, and in my mind, this is kind of the start of working downtown and getting it, starting towards a Main Street approach and really getting that, beautifying that whole area. And so this would be kind of step one. I know I mentioned it, when we met with the Main Street Committee, and as you know, the application, the presentation has been done. We're part of that. We will not hear for probably another week or two if Boone is accepted, but we are thinking positively and hoping that goes through. So if that does, Boone would be a Main Street community, and that would be a very excellent project for us to get involved in and to move ahead on. So I don't know if it's a safety issue, but if we can put that on hold for just even like another month, I think Main Street would be, certainly the group would be willing to kind of work ahead on that if we can make some, and I don't think we're talking a real fancy, but if we could do just even bricks in there and have some kind of pattern, it would dress up those areas. So to me, it's an opportunity that we could step ahead rather than just kind of patch it and move on.
I think, don't you think that we're going to, Main Street does go through, there's a lot of sidewalks down there that are in need of major repair. Anyway, wouldn't we be yanking it back out and putting in new sidewalks for the Main Street program?
That would be up to, I guess, the community, and the Main Street on whether that's affordable, whether that's something that would need to be done, if that's a priority, or whether it would get by. I guess somebody would have to comment on the state of
I'm
those.
just concerned that we're throwing good money after bad. I don't know, but I would think.
Why don't we just table it
Probably
until we
would have
find-
some of that in mind, because like I said, some of those sidewalks need help.
Why don't we
Those
just
trees need to come out.
We just table it until we find out if we're gonna do Main Street.
Yeah, we could.
And then we'll bring it
And that
back.
way, right, it at least gives us the opportunity, and we could also find out if the board, and if the condition of sidewalks, I don't think we want to do anything, we have to backtrack, obviously, and
Right.
redo. So,
During that time, I suppose the Main Street group could look at concern or the observation about the randomness of the location, to take that into account. If that's an issue, so that they kind of know what that observation was, and they can plan for that too, whether or not that's something that they consider. So more information for them.
but that's fine, if we kind of wait until we at least get a little more information and then see how to proceed, sounds good.
Okay, my next one is, we had discussion about a council work session for the wellness center. At this point, it would be staff's recommendation to do the schedules in the summer from some council people that are going to be gone, that we look at a work session sometime after the. And I can bring it up again as we get closer to that, so that we can look at our schedules and set it. That's what my suggestion.
I think
On vacation.
that would, yeah, that would be fine. I guess I just requested that. I think we have still a lot of discussion, decisions about the wellness center, how we're proceeding. And whether we're going back to the table on design. I think there's a lot of discussion, and to me, I don't think we can get that done in a council meeting. I think we need to have a session where we're not making any decisions, but we're doing that discussing. So that sounds good. Have some-
Okay, my next item is the city email distribution list. I've had some conversations with elected officials about a centralized way to get information out to the students, or excuse me, to the citizens. There is a way that we can do that. Staff has looked into, eGov, who designed our website. If we could add something on there where we have a centralized location where all emails from the city would go out. That way we have one centralized message going out from the city. We could, it's really a variety of information we can send out, but if you do this, there's a way to go on the website and sign up as a citizen, go on the website, sign up for these, and they automatically go to your email address. You check, my understanding of it, you check what you want, whether it's council, ED, P&A, or anything like that. It just populates it, and whatever you want, you send it out, it goes to that. Then there'll be one as well for just general information that we can send out to educate the public, particularly when there's things out there that absolutely are not true, that we can hopefully prove with facts. And that email would be used for that. So the cost of this to set it up is $2,500. The maintenance fee is $1,000. However, if we did something like this, as you know, we send out newsletters 4 or 5 times a year. That $1,000 every year, we would save that from that process that we do to pay for that. So really what we're looking at, it's a wash other than the $2,500 setup fee. So is this something that the elected official would like us to do? You want some more information? It sounds like a pretty good way to, I know what I've gotten is sometimes they have to click on a link or they have to do this. This would be an email that goes directly to their email that they sign up for, that they want.
So they receive it just automatically.
If they go on the website,
And sign up,
for it,
they will.
absolutely.
And this responds kind of to that idea that there are still people saying they're out of touch, they're not getting information, especially when we were doing the bond issue on, they didn't feel there was enough communication. Would you say we would eliminate the 5 newsletters? Are you talking about the one on the water bill? 7?
Yeah, we send out through CDS.
Would it maybe be a good idea to keep that also? I'm kind of back to not everybody.
Yeah, well, our
Yes.
plan was it would just go out as an attachment on the. So. But you have to sign up for it.
Right, and does everybody get email? I mean, it is that, is that broad enough that we are contacting?
There is no single. There just isn't. I did a survey on this and everything that they suggested, somebody shot it.
Well, I think the more we do, right, but yes, there are still people.
But we
that-
gotta start somewhere, so.
So adding in, from my perspective, adding this into the website definitely seems like a great idea, even if it costs us a little bit more and we kept the water bill inserts. I personally would be fine with that. I get an email, I see those, a lot of people do, but there are a lot of people that aren't signing up for it. So I wouldn't want to, I don't know. Where on the other side.
Sure, I understand what you're saying. If we did this, then there'd be some sort of a public education thing, send it out to us. Can, so that everybody is aware. But you're right, I mean, I've had people tell me, well, I don't get email.
Correct.
Would this
There's no
include,
silver bullet,
yeah,
there's nothing we can do.
this would be a great
If
step.
you know what it is, please tell me.
Would this include like the SMS stuff with the Nixle and everything?
The next will be separate, because, yeah, the
If it could be
PDF.
located in the same spot on the website, I don't know if that's possible, then it's like a one-stop shop sign up for one or the other.
Yeah, I don't know.
This will be a little bit more detailed, because you gotta put in more information, you gotta choose what options you want. But I don't know why there would be the ability to add something to take you to. where you need to.
Right, yeah, exactly. That's really helpful. Roll closures.
Can I suggest that maybe we keep both for like the first year, and if we get a lot of people that are signing up, and it feels like we're really reaching people, we can eliminate the other. I know-
Staff will do as directed by the elected officials. Mind you that this is not budgeted for fiscal year 23, so we'll do our best to make it up within the budget. The only reason we brought up the newsletter not doing it is it was paid for the maintenance fee.
Okay.
So that,
Right.
but we'll do as you direct.
I think doing both just for now without the good. I mean, then people get local ways and, yeah, it is a good transitional stuff.
Okay, so what I'm getting is that this is a good idea and we should move forward.
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you. My next item is to remind you of the ribbon cutting for the rail cars on Thursday at 10 a.m. If 5 of you have responded to me that you're gonna go, and I sent that in. If you wanna go, please let me know. It's at 10 a.m. on Thursday morning. And then I think there's a tour if you want after on the.
Tour as in you write, as in you write them, as in you write them.
Maybe they're just walking around the.
So I've RSVP'd those that responded. Please, if you decide to go, you have a contact, let me know and I'll certainly RSVP. My last item is, as Linda mentioned, the Main Street presentation was given last Thursday at 9:30 at the Economic Commission. I will tell you that I sat in on the dress rehearsal last Monday. They did a great job. They prepared, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what they put together, but they did a great job with this. And as I sat and watched the presentation down in Des Moines, they did a really good job. They were very prepared. There were some tough questions that the board asked, but you know, they expected that, and you can't prepare for every question that can be asked. But they did really well. We're very hopeful that when we selected, designated as a Main Street Iowa community. Last I heard, and is maybe we might know something this week, but it wouldn't be official publicly
Right,
until
yeah.
August 2nd. That's all. If you would give me just a second here. So that was the initial presentation to the board, and then as that was ending, they all walked in. The room was set up, as a radio station, and it was done like interviews with people from Boone and things like that. They did a fantastic job, whether they're designated or we're designated or not, they put in a lot of time, it was really good. So I just wanted to brief you on that, and hope for the best this week. If you have any questions, I'm glad to answer.
I have to tell you, I was on there really copy because I was not able to attend. I was at one time, up at Oklahoma, don't. It was necessary, but in mine, I was carrying that code book that we have that weighs about 10 pounds. So.
That's all I have, sir.
All right. Number 6, consent agenda. Any items on the consent agenda that you'd like to discuss separately? If not, I need a motion to approve.
Move to approve. Second.
Call the roll.
Ray,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
again,
Yes.
Stein,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilheimer,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Okay, number 7, ordinances. A, first reading ordinance 2280, providing the general property taxes levied and collected each year on all property located in the North Boone Housing Urban Renewal Area be paid to a special fund for payment of principal and interest on loans, money advanced to and indebtedness, including bonds issued incurred by the city in connection with the North Boone Housing Urban Renewal Area. Call the roll.
Bird,
Yes.
again,
Yes.
Stein,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilheimer,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes. Okay, number 8, I have no comments. Number 9, council member comments. Councilmember.
I got one. Just want to talk about something that, so twice in the last 4 or 5 months. That's people are wanting to or have built whole buildings, like a, more style building as a house. I've had a couple of people not satisfied with that, and I guess I shared that. I was just wondering what everybody else thinks as far as more building being built at the house. Not necessarily more branding, but a whole building in general. I don't think
We talked about
hard to me, yeah, so they don't really fit the neighborhood and I don't know if they're built with the expansion of the house.
That's the question. That's my question. Is anything that is?
Yeah, I didn't really work, there's certain standards they have to meet, and there's an argument out there on whether it's built with whole building has the same sort of stability. In my opinion, it's a little bit less. They do have to have a minimum amount of living quarters and be able to put these in a residential area. Otherwise, it's just a garage, a lot of shit. They gotta have a sleeping quarters, a kitchen, and a facility. It comes to about 400 square feet. It's not very big, but some of them, there's nothing that restricts it right now. Phil and I talked about it. I mean, there's some communities that are, we're not the only ones. Some communities out there talk about this as well. I feel an article today about a community that actually banned them. Something that you could do, this was brought up at P&Z at our last meeting. We have it on the agenda for our next meeting to discuss, to see what the ideas are out there, what we want to do, and then bring it back to council.
Would they go in any neighborhood? I mean, if they.
Resident, yeah, basically any neighborhood, any neighborhood that allows residential. Right. There are, if you get into the newer subdivisions, we have covenants that don't allow for the living quarters.
That's maybe science restrictions or, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So would it be possible to forward that article to us?
Yeah, actually, we make it up.
something that you could do that you consider tonight, if you want to put a hold on these until we have better discussion here with P and Z, just you put more authority on it. Further buildings until this is hashed out.
Is there a timeline like what they
For what they want to do, that once a month, it'll be on for the next agenda, so. Yeah. Something to consider.
Any other council comments? Oh, Tom?
I didn't know this was on the agenda, so I'm glad I'm here for this about the buildings and metal buildings. I have one that was erected, one house east of my residence, has 16-foot sidewalls. And it looks like a giant warehouse. People build it, put their motorhome in it. However, they are constructing residential quarters within that building. In other words, it's the roll-up door for the motorhome and a little walk-through door, like a utility door, to get into the building. Once you're inside that building, they are building quarters along one wall, supposedly for living purposes, to make it qualify. The neighbor right next door to it, Jared Clark, he's moving. He's already bought a place and gone. He's not gonna live beside that building. People across the street, directly across the street from me, they're gonna put their house up for sale and move because of that building. What it's done to the neighborhood, the appearance. I don't know what it's done to our property value, if it did anything at all, I don't know. It's an attractive building, I'm not gonna say that it's nasty, but it's just, they've done a nice job, they did a little landscaping in the front of it. But again, it is a big 16, the sidewalls, if that could be one thing, could be eliminated in putting those up, so they don't look like, I mean, if they're gonna look like a little shop, that's nice, or would some guy, my neighbor to the other side of me, if he tore the house down on the corner to the west of me, Mike Carlson, because he wants to put a shop, a wood shop. Now, I have no objections to him doing that, which would be right beside me, but I don't want 16-foot sidewalls right beside me. He says, he told one of the neighbors, his son might live in it. Well, see, that would qualify it to be whatever, so they use that reasoning to get by. So I have, you know, it's there, 16-foot tall, and I don't know how long it is yet, it's pretty big, probably 50 feet.
50, I would guess.
Yeah, that size of that motorhome.
And that's one thing on a garage, different garage and somewhat different. It's just the garage itself has a maximum height of 16 feet in a residential area. That would eliminate the common space.
Yeah, no, Jared, he's, I'm not living beside that, he's out of his house now, right? I don't know.
I just want to go that sense. Thank you, Tom. I wouldn't mind too much for garages and stuff, but I think it's for the residents, the main building on the property. I make a motion to make a moratorium on all buildings for residents.
Second. Call roll.
McGinn,
Yes.
Stein,
Yes.
Mormon,
Yes.
Hilheimer,
Yes.
Williamson,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Bird,
Yes.
Any other council comments? Any public comments for items not on the agenda?